Hi, I'm Professor Paul Blaschko. I work at the University of Notre Dame, and today I want to talk a little bit about Perusall. Perusall is a collaborative e-reader that instructors and students use to annotate readings together. It works kind of like the commenting feature on Google Docs. But this platform can turn your class preparation into a rich dialogue that supercharges what we can do together during class. It's pretty common for college instructors to want to give credit to students who put time and effort into preparing readings for class. In part, this is because empirical data suggest that this work is often what students are most inclined to skip. But more importantly, it's because in a college course, there's absolutely no replacement in the learning process for just doing the readings. As an instructor, I want to acknowledge and provide incentives to do this important work. Now, some students find Perusall confusing or even intimidating to use at first. One question I often get from students is, how does grading work with Perusall? So Perusall analyzes the syntax of comments and provides credit for clear, well-structured contributions. It also gives students credit for engaging with others' comments, answering their questions, responding with alternative views, and/or upvoting comments that they found particularly helpful. The platform then generates a recommended score for the professor. More than 100% of credit is possible on any given assignment, so there are multiple paths that students can take to earn full credit. Again, in my experience, Perusall does a pretty good job recommending these scores. Students who engage as intended do very well. Now, it is true that this process could be gamed. You could, for instance, put in nonsense comments or simply copy other students' excellent contributions. But I find that gaming Perusall consistently is about as hard to do as simply putting in the work. It's also literally cheating. More importantly, though, Perusall, if we use it well, is a massive opportunity to help us accomplish our shared and individual goals. One of the things that I like best about Perusall is that it can help us mimic natural learning processes. Suppose you became interested in poetry, for instance. You started reading a bunch of poems and then discussing them on forums online. Or suppose that you and your friends got together to have a book club to study US history. In each of these examples, you'd have a rich, ongoing dialogue that happens partly in person and partly across various digital modalities. When used as intended, Perusall allows us to replicate this. It also empowers you to make the class as a whole more about what you're most interested in. I read Perusall annotations before every class, and I'll often design activities to take into account the things that my students are most interested in or the things they're most puzzled about. In many ways, it's as much a way for students to help instructors steer course content as it is a reading accountability mechanism. So these are just some of the reasons why I've found Perusall to be such an excellent learning tool. In my experience, students too, even if they're a bit hesitant at the beginning of the semester, report afterwards that it's one of the most helpful pieces of the learning process.